Hey everyone, it's Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with USentryWaiverServices.com, and we resolve all USA border crossing issues. You guys hear the same intro time after time, but that's fine. It is what it is. This is a quick video I want to make. I got a nice glass of Pinot here. Ooh, disappearing Pinot. But anyway, you guys get the picture. So today's video is going to be on, can I apply for a US waiver myself? But before I start that, I'm trying to find my sidekick. Where's my sidekick? Where's my assistant? Oh, there's my assistant. Come here, assistant. Look. Say hi. Oop. You are a big pussy. I mean, I love pussy anyway, but pussy cats, so there. Say hello to the crowd. Yeah, see, yeah, he's looking at you guys. This is His Majesty. Okay, you can go. Okay. Anyway, so back to the topic at hand. Can I apply for a US waiver myself? Guys, sure you can. Sure. You can apply if you want. If you want to do it yourself, you can. But have you guys heard the saying, a lawyer that represents himself has a fool for a client? And that, hate to say it, but quite often that's also applicable to these waiver cases. And I'm not just saying this just to get business for you guys. I'm being straight up and honest. You guys know how bluntly honest I am. And we strive and ensure that we are completely transparent with you guys and honest, whether you guys like it or not, or like what we have to say or not. That's not our concern if you don't like it. So, yes, you can apply for a waiver yourself. Here's the problem. Most of you guys don't know the ins and outs of the system. You don't know the statute. You don't know the regulations. You don't know how to apply the principles. You won't know a lot of the ins and outs. You guys know I formerly worked for the American system. I was a federal law enforcement officer in Washington State, or former law enforcement and federal officer in Washington State. And being a former federal employee, a lot of this stuff comes natural. What the thing for me, actually one of the challenging parts for this was the English portion, because I learned the Queen's English. So, growing up. So that was kind of like, I got a bit of ribbing, so to speak, from coworkers on that. But anyway, so the point is, when you do your own waiver, you've got to, well, you know what? Let me try to, I'll give you guys an example right here. Okay, here got a file right here. I'll pull out a waiver application. All right, guys. Okay, so this is a waiver application. I'm just going to read some of the questions to you guys, and you tell me if you can do your own waiver. Now, if you stole a car at 19, now you're 40, you could probably get away with doing your own. But if you used to move weight, or you overstayed, or you got charged with misrepresentation, etc., in USA, or if you did a fake refugee case or whatever, you're going to have trouble. You're not going to know a lot of the ins and outs of this stuff. So it's, like address, where you live, that's simple. Here's where it gets complicated. Here's one question. Do you believe that you may be inadmissible to the United States? It's yes or no. This is a landmine. Because if you don't think you're inadmissible, you have to be able to document why and how. The discount waiver companies, they don't know how to do this. They try to strive for it. They just automatically, most of the time, if actually all, they say, well, yes. But sometimes this is where you guys screw up. I almost said the F word, but this is where you guys screw up. It's because some of you guys cheap out and you don't want to pay for quality. So when you cheap out, you actually screw yourself in the long run. Because if you're not inadmissible, there are ways to show how certain events or offenses do not make you inadmissible. And I'm not going to go into that too much because the discount waiver companies, they would love to find out how to do that. So you can reverse engineer that and keep the lights on. But we're not going to go in detail of that. If you're not inadmissible, if CBP determines that you are, how can I say this? If CBP determines that you are not inadmissible, you get a September letter from the government, and that letter you carry, basically, you're good for life. It's a one-time thing. If you are inadmissible, you get the waiver. Now, having said that, regarding the inadmissibility, they have a certain analyses that they do as well that I'm not going to go into here. We got the material. I'm looking at the material right there, but I'm not going to go into it because, like I said, discount waiver companies would love to know that formula. And we've got, again, the same criteria and adjudication tools that they use. So, other question: have you previously filed an application for advance permission to enter the United States as a non-immigrant? Well, I mean, that's yes or no. It's simple. Have you ever been in the United States for a period of 6 months or more? This is another one that sometimes is a landmine for people because if you say yes, you got to know how to document the stuff. If you say no and they find out it's false, then they got you for misrepresentation in your packet and you're screwed. Have you ever filed an application or petition for immigration benefits with the United States government, or has one ever been filed on your behalf? I'm not going to go to the meaning of that. You guys can digest that and find the best meaning that suits you. And it's got some other questions here I'm looking at. Ask about being denied, etc., yada yada. But the point I'm getting at is you again, if you stole a car at 19, now you're 40, you might be able to get away with this. But anything more complex, you guys are screwed if you do this waiver yourself. You will most likely get denied. And I'm not saying it just to get your business, because as it is, we have too much business now. And what we've had to do is we no longer market toward like the small fish cases, like Willie, the warehouse worker from Winnipeg, who stole a car at 19, now he's 40. And he needs a waiver. So we don't market to Willie. Willie no longer. But the more complex stuff, we had a guy the other day that had attempted murder. We had a bird that called in today that we're working her case. She already has a waiver for a certain offense. And I think we can get her a lifetime clearance. Problem is, she already applied for a waiver. So now the service has a foundation that they can use, because that policy is, if you don't think you needed a waiver, why didn't you say so in the beginning? And if you say, well, I don't know, well, guess what, guys? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. The way they look at it, and I had to say that they're right, they're in their right mind when they say that. You are supposed to know. If you're doing this application yourself, you are supposed to know, because essentially you're telling the American government you know what you're doing, even though you don't. Some of these guards, though, CBP, they say, "Oh, this felt the waiver. It's no big thing." Guys, don't listen to what these guards tell you in that sense, because half the time they're wrong in general. So the question: let me make sure I get it right. Can I apply for a U.S. waiver myself? Answer is yes. Will you be successful? Depending upon your circumstances, if it's complex, you're going to go down in flames like the Hindenburg, or you're going to sink like the Titanic. You're going to be screwed because you're not going to know how to get around this stuff. And God forbid, if you have a history with the American government, you try this. It's a losing battle. You're not going to make it. You're going to get denied. And then when you get denied, we can turn it around. But then the problem is, well, it's not a problem for us. But the thing is, once you get denied and we turn it around, usually that fee has to be higher because we have to undo the damage that was done by either yourself or the discount waiver company or even the lawyer. Because half the time these lawyers screw this stuff up. All these lawyers don't even know what they're doing. But don't take my word for it. Please don't take my word for it. Any of you guys watching this video and gotten denied, you will know. We had a guy called the other day. He got ripped off by a waiver company in a certain province. I won't say the province. And I told him we can turn it around. Surprisingly, he said the price we were charging to turn it around was almost what they charged to do it, which that's a bit rare because normally we're the highest in this industry. So he never showed up, which that's fine, whatever. I think he didn't want to pay the same price the second time. But the point is, you guys, when you hire whoever your provider is, you hire, you got to make sure this person knows what they're doing. And I've told you guys repeatedly, one telltale sign is when you call the discount waiver companies, the first thing they're going to do within 5 minutes is pressure you for a deposit. I challenge any one of you guys watching any of our content and contacted us to say that we've ever pressured you guys for a deposit. And you guys know that if you've spoken to me, I've said there's no pressure. You think about it, and if we can help you, you give us a jingle. We don't pressure anyone for a penny because mainly we don't have to. We have more. Like I said, we have too much business. So this kind of is a way to weed out the tire kickers, so to speak. You will never get us pressure you for a deposit or even a payment for that matter. You know, but the discount waiver companies are going to pressure you for a deposit. They're going to be hard for you to reach. They're going to nickel and dime you. They're going to say, oh, you need this admin fee, this fee, that fee, that fee, that fee. So bottom line is you get a bunch of fees and it take probably almost a year to put your packet together. Good chance you'll get denied. And then you come to us, yeah, we can turn it around. But then it's going to be I'm going to say probably 3 times more than what you paid because there's a lot of damage to undo it. So again, not at the risk of sounding like a parrot, can I apply for a U.S. waiver myself? Yes, you can. So you can try it. If you get denied, come to us, we'll turn it around. We'll probably charge you 3 to 5K to turn it around, but then you will get approved. So you got to ask yourself this important question. Do you want to take the risk of trying to do it yourself and get denied if you got something serious or more complex, even like weed smoking, yada, yada, whatever? Or do you want to just pay a professional, a real professional? I'm not talking about a discount waiver company like Batman's Pardons and Waivers. Get the job done right. We have a 99% success rate that I boast about that. Part of the way that we also have 99%, and I wish this gentleman would come on air with me or do an episode with me. We had a couple that came in today, male and female couple. Won't say their names. For her, we think we can get her a lifetime clearance based upon her particulars. And that's all I will say on that. His case, we told him honestly that there's a good chance he's not going to get approved right now for certain reasons. And I will only leave it at that. So we told him what we think is the best way to get him sorted, which he can get sorted. That's not an issue. So he's going to contact us. He's going to follow. How can I say this? He's going to follow the what we suggested to him, and then he will get approved. And guys, the reason why we keep it like this quasi cryptic is because we're finding out these discount waiver companies are watching our content, downloading it, and really trying hard to reverse engineer our stuff. So when we keep it cryptic like that, it's really hard for them to like monetize what we're doing. Because like I said, very few of us have worked for the American system and know the inside stuff like we do. So Batman's Pardons and Waivers, they don't really know. I'm going to say jack all, but instead of jack, put F in front of that. And that's why we have the 99% success rate. That's why I can sit here, have a nice glass of Pinot Grigio and relish in the fact that our clientele, 99% go through. And I don't mean like simple BS stuff. I'm talking about the heavy stuff. Cross-border trafficking, drive-by shooting, home invasions. We got a home invader coming, ex-home invader coming to the office next week. And I already know we can get him through. The hardest things to get through now, though, are the child molestation. That's really tough. So that, and also if you're part of like an organization, so to speak, that is hard to get through as well. But beyond those two things, attempted murder, drive-bys, washing money, girls who are accused of massage, that kind of stuff, and more. Aggravated assault, that kind of stuff we can get through because we specialize in, like I said, the complex stuff, and that's complex actually. People who've told the border that they've or say how do you do bumps? I think you take that's right, you put a little bit here, take a mirror in. I think I've never done bumps, so but anyway, so that's the kind of stuff we get cleared, the really complex stuff. And even with the complex stuff, you got to know which area to go in. So at the risk of sounding like a parrot, I know I've said that. Can I apply for a U.S. waiver myself? Yes. Will I be successful? Well, you know what? You sit back and you be the judge of that and answer your own question. So again, Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentryWaiverServices.com, and we're 888-908-3841 or 604-562-8140. And in the words of my Vulcan colleague, live long and prosper. Why you should be denied entry to that country. So if you're denied entry to the United States for criminality, maybe at a bar fight, or maybe you were accused of I don't know, it's okay. You didn't do it. This is what you want to do. You may need a U.S. entry waiver. You may, or you may not. If you do, you want to use sendittoken.com. Sendittoken.com. And once you use sendittoken.com, we can get you cleared to enter the United States. Does not matter what your conviction is, whether it's for or
nothing is impossible.
Why? Because we're there. You need us.
Sendittoken.com. I gotta tell you, folks, wait till Hulk Hogan comes out here. The roof is gonna come off the Bell Center here in Montreal. As the anticipation builds, you can feel it. The legendary Hulk Hogan is a heartbeat away